Coming up on Sports Night. Another year, another Northwestern NFL draftee, we take a look back at the illustrious collegiate career of quarterback Clayton Thorson.
The red-hot softball team goes into battle against the Spartans.
And don't call it a hot streak, baseball attempts to turn things around with a little bit of success back home in Evanston. Evan, I'm getting sick of this weather. It is really just getting old. As soon as you think it's going to get warm, we get hit with snow.
You know, that's very true. And in a world of constant change, we have one staple, and that's Thursday night sports night.
Right now. Okay, the reason it took me so long to go is because the
No red light.
Welcome back to Sports Night. I'm Ben Boken.
And I'm Evan Denton. Ben, imagine your dream job calling you tonight and making you an offer. How would you feel?
I can honestly tell you right now, if I got my dream job offered to me, I'd be on the first flight out of this cold Evanston place, and I would never look back.
You know, I completely agree with you, and a few football players experienced just that this past weekend. The NFL draft took place this past weekend down in Nashville, Tennessee. Since 2015, at least one Northwestern football player has been chosen in the draft. Last year, it was Justin Jackson, the ball carrier. Who will be the lucky player this year? Let's find out. With the 167th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles selected quarterback Clayton Thorson. Thorson, the 6'4" Wheaton, Illinois native, became just the 8th quarterback in program history to be drafted. During his time as a Wildcat, Thorson set program records for passing yards, completions, and touchdown throws. In 2018, he would go on to earn all Big Ten honorable mention. Of all his memorable moments, Wildcat Nation will never forget his heroic 99-yard drive against Nebraska this past season and the comeback he led against Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship. Thorson is the only quarterback in Big Ten history to throw for over 10,000 yards and run for 20 touchdowns in his career. On top of that, he set a Big Ten record with 53 straight starts dating back to 2015 when the Cats knocked off Christian McCaffrey and Stanford. Remarkably, he didn't miss a single game after tearing his ACL against Kentucky in the Music City Bowl his redshirt junior season. Including the Music City Bowl game, Thorson led the Cats to 4 straight bowl appearances, and he even won Offensive MVP in this year's Holiday Bowl against Utah. Thorson will not be the only Wildcat on the Philadelphia Eagles roster, as former Wildcat safety Godwin Igwebuike was picked up off waivers this past week.
Clayton Thorson isn't the only Wildcat headed to the NFL. Shortly after the 2019 NFL draft concluded Saturday evening, a number of Northwestern football standouts signed with professional teams as undrafted free agents. Let's take a look at the players heading to the big stage. Our first Cat, the big man Blake Hance. The offensive lineman appeared in 13 games last season and achieved 4-year starter status. Hance helped protect Clayton Thorson on the quarterback's road to over 3,000 passing yards in 2018. But next up, Montre Hartage to the Miami Dolphins. In 2018, the Georgia native played in 12 games, totaling 51 tackles. Defensive lineman Jordan Thompson joins former Wildcat Anthony Walker and the Indianapolis Colts. This past fall, Thompson made 30 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and notched 3 sacks. And last but not least, linebacker Nate Hall heads to Dallas to play with the Cowboys and former Northwestern safety Kyle Cairo. Hall recorded 51 tackles and 5.5 tackles for loss, earning all Big Ten honorable mention.
To break down the NFL draft, we brought in Andrew Golden from the Daily Northwestern. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start things off. From a program standpoint, the Cats have had at least one player chosen in the last four drafts. What does that mean for a program?
I think it's a testament to the coaching that Northwestern's had the past couple of years. For example, they had 3 quarterbacks who were drafted since 2010, which is the most of any team in the Big Ten. They've had a player drafted in the past 5 years. That's just a testament to taking 3-star recruits and turning them into NFL talent.
Now, Clayton Thorson is going to the city of brotherly love and becoming a Philadelphia Eagle. Were you kind of surprised at where he was drafted, and how well do you think he will be able to adapt to the NFL?
I expected him to go to the Patriots or the Panthers. Those are the teams that were linked to him the most during the draft. And then the Patriots took Jarrett Stidham, and then the Panthers took who the Panthers take. I forgot the take. But Clayton Thorson, he should fit in with the Eagles pretty well. Doug Peterson's a great quarterback coach, and he should work well there, especially with Nate Sudfeld, who also is in the Big Ten, and he worked pretty well.
Well, they have some pretty good Philly cheesesteaks, I've heard, over there. Now, 5 other former Wildcats were signed as undrafted free agents. Of these 5, who do you think can eventually make a roster and make the biggest impact in the NFL?
I think it has to be Montre Hardage. I think he has a lot of potential to make the Dolphins roster. I think the other choice should be Nate Hall. He's battled some injuries, so I think Montre Hardage is probably the safest bet. He's had the best career at Northwestern, and he's pretty solid all the way around.
You know, the newest version of Revis Island, maybe Montre Hardage Island, if you ask me.
Maybe.
And now, the final question, the most important question, if we here at Sports Night were to have a football draft, who are you taking with your first overall pick?
It's rough. I think I'm going to take Ben Boken. I think he has 4.4 speed. He did really great in the interviews. I definitely take Ben Boken first overall. I mean, he's talented all the way around.
You know, Andrew, I'm not going to lie, my feelings are kind of hurt by that. I really thought I'd make
He's the best one out there.
You have your opinion, you know what, but unfortunately, Andrew, your takes are out of time, and if you want to read more of Andrew's work, please visit thedailynorthwestern.com.
Andrew, thank you so much for that. I don't know how I'm supposed to ignore that, but when we come back, we'll take a look at one of the hottest teams in Northwestern athletics history. Stick around.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victories, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Evan, you're from Michigan, so I got to let you take the next clip.
My guy, I appreciate that. Let's see what we have on deck. The baseball team looked to wake up its sleeping bats against the Michigan State Spartans. Batter up, take me out to the ball game. All right, in East Lansing, the second game of a doubleheader, the Cats dropped the first one 8-2 and are looking to bounce back. Michigan State would strike first in the opening inning as Marty McKenna hits into the double play, but it scores a run to put the Cats down 1-0 early in this ball game. Beautiful turn there by the Cats, though. The Cats would strike back in the top of the second as Casey O'Loughlin smacks it, an RBI double to drive in Willie Bourbon from second base, and we're all knotted up at 1 apiece, folks. Things remain tied until the 5th inning when Alex Euro came up to bat with 2 men on and knocks one up the middle for an RBI single to score Jack Kelly, giving the Cats, the Cardiac Cats that is, a 2-1 lead. Michigan State would tie things back up in the 6th, and the game would stay through the 9th and went to extras. Sean Gusenberg hits a double to lead off the 10th inning and get into scoring position. Now a couple batters later, David Dunn puts the Cats ahead with the sacrifice fly. It's coming. Oh, what a shot that is to right field, and Gusenberg scores easily, giving the Cats a 3-2 lead. and the Cats would go on to hold that lead and split the doubleheader, beating the Spartans, that is, 3-2. Now moving into the Illinois State game, top of the third, Jack Dunn with the double down the right field line, and he would score. Casey O'Loughlin. Cats tie it up at 1 apiece. Now Illinois State would score 2 more runs to go up 3-1. We are going into the 8th inning, and Ben Dickey sends a screamer right back up the middle, nearly decapitating that pitcher. Oh my gosh. Alex Ero scores, and the Cats pull within 1 run. Still in the bottom of the 8th, the Cats play a little small ball as David Dunn bunts it to the pitcher, and Sean Goosenberg sprints home. We have a tied game here, folks. Get your popcorn. It's going to be a good one. Now, the bases are still loaded. Michael Trotwine hits a fairly deep sacrifice fly to right field. Back, but it's caught. And Willie Bourbon puts on his Usain Bolt shoes and shows off his lightning speed and slides into home safely. Still in the 8th inning, Jack Anderson lays down the beautiful bunt. Charlie Maxwell with the Superman slide into home, beating the throw. Cats would extend their lead to 5-3. You gotta love small ball in these kind of games, folks. Now finally, Casey O'Loughlin lines a single into shallow right field, and David Dunn scampers home, and the Cats would beat the Redbirds 6-3. Now, unfortunately, the Cats could not avoid all the bad weather here in the Midwest, as the baseball team was supposed to host the Iowa Hawkeyes, but Mother Nature had other ideas. As of now, a makeup date has not been announced, and the Cats next have a 3-game home series starting this Saturday. But Saturday is a little extra special, as it is the annual Bark at the Park game, so be sure to bring your dogs with you, and check back next week to see how the Cats fared.
Last weekend, Northwestern softball came into Friday with a 38-7 record and 16 straight wins. But the team would have to defend their top 20 national ranking in a series against the Michigan State Spartans. So here we are. Cats looking to stay undefeated in Big Ten play as they head to East Lansing. In the first game of the series, Northwestern out to a big lead as Lily Novak smacks a triple just fair down the right field line that would clear the bases. Cats up 7-1. Next batter up, Kenna Wilkie says see you later as she hits a homer over the left field wall. Cats would take the first game 10-4. But the next day, in a doubleheader, first-year phenom Danielle Williams took the circle for the 3rd time in 5 days and continued her dominance in the 5th. She went 1, 2, 3, striking out the side with a whole array of pitches. She got the run support and finished the game with 13 strikeouts. Northwestern wins 6-2. But wait, there's more. In the final game of the series, the other first-year phenom for the Cats, Maeve Morgan, had herself a day. 2-run shot in the first to put the Cats up. Then in the 5th, there is more. The same pitch, the same result, a moonshot dinger. She gives her best, whoa! And the Cats sweep the Spartans, 19 straight wins.
If you open up a Merriam-Webster dictionary and look up the word excellence, you'll find a picture of Northwestern lacrosse. They look to cap off another incredible season by cracking open the Ohio State Buckeyes. Brennan Dwyer wins the face-off toss and passes it to herself. Lindsey McCone scores just 10 seconds in with the assist from Megan Kinna. Cats lead 1-0. Now Ohio State would quickly get on the board, but so does Selena Lasota with a goal of her own. She sets a fake pick, gets the ball, and slips it into the net. Cats lead 2-1. In an eventful first half, Megan Kinna slides in and scores for Northwestern's first 2-goal lead of the game. The Cats go into halftime leading 9-6. And with 11 minutes to go, Selena Lasota gets her 6th goal of the game, giving the Cats a 4-goal lead, and they would go on to beat the Ohio State Buckeyes in Columbus by a final score of 17-12.
Now it's time to introduce one of the most dynamic reporters in the entire world, Charlie Goldsmith of the Daily Northwestern. Thank you so much for being here again.
Has to be the first time in history a journalist has been called dynamic, but I'll take it.
You're dynamic. It's because you know a lot of sports. You've been here talking about basketball before, but now we're going to shift gears over to lacrosse. Obviously, last week, Selena Soto was drafted 4th overall in the Women's Professional Lacrosse League. Where does she rank among Northwestern's best players in the team's history?
Well, this show's about to get a little more analytically friendly as I take out my piece of paper to read a couple stats. We got Hannah Nielsen, played from 06 to 09. She scored 398 points, including a career program high 224 assists, 81 wins, 4 national championships. We have Shannon Smith, 2009 to 2012, 254 goals, 84 wins, 3 national championships. And then Lesota. She's 4th on the all-time program list in goals scored, but 197 goals is amazing, 246 points, 59 wins. It's a tougher era for Big Ten lacrosse. Maryland joined the conference this decade, and they haven't lost since. So Northwestern isn't the powerhouse that they used to be. Lesota's still pretty good, though. She's probably number 4, I'd say.
Oof, you're pretty rough on ranking her. I can't lie, but we're gonna switch gears, okay? Just a couple weeks ago, Northwestern, they played Michigan, and they came out with a 14-11 victory. But now in the first round of the Big Ten tournament, they're going to play Michigan again, the number 7 Wolverines, tomorrow night. But this time, obviously it's the first round of the Big Ten tournament. What has made this Michigan squad so successful in your opinion?
Well, the first thing I'd say is the coach that they hired, who's someone who I just read their name off this paper, Hannah Nielsen, who graduated from Northwestern in 2009. She took over about a year ago. They were sub 500 last year. They're the number 8 team in the country now. They have one of the best defenses in the Big Ten. They really made Northwestern struggle in that win that you're referring to earlier in April.
I mean, obviously it's not going to be an easy one, as you've just mentioned, but last question for you. What do the Wildcats need to do to get it done this Friday?
Well, first, obviously, their defense presents interesting challenges for Northwestern. The players were saying, I was talking to them yesterday, that they've been watching more film to prepare for this Michigan game than they have at any point this season. Michigan changes up their defenses, zones, mans, different screen coverages. And what Northwestern's doing is they're trying to find wrinkles to that, trying to make Michigan think they're doing one thing and do something completely different. When you have a scorer like Selena Lesota, supporting talent like Izzy Skane and Lauren Gilbert, you have names there who can pick up for each other when the defense tries to take one of their other guys away. So I'd pick Northwestern in this one, but it should be a good game on Friday.
Well, I can't lie to you, I feel extremely prepared after all of your explanation, but make sure to watch this game tomorrow. But for Charlie, we have to let you go, obviously. It's always a pleasure having you on, my friend. I love it. But follow Northwestern's path throughout the rest of the season by checking out Charlie Goldsmith's work on thedailynorthwestern.com.
And coming up after the break, we head to the pitch to talk about men's soccer.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. Evan, why are you so upset right now?
You know, Ben, honestly, I'm a little butthurt about what Andrew Golden said about the first overall draft pick. I don't see the 4.4 speed he was talking about when it comes to you.
I can show you the facts. I can show you a highlight tape that I had from when I was in middle school. I'm not lying here, dude. The facts are there, the tape is there, but you're just gonna have to get over it.
So,
okay?
So do you have any tips for me about how to improve my draft stock or anything?
The only tip I have for you is to stay in school, my friend.
Okay.
But let's talk about some actual sports while we're at it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So obviously, Northwestern women's soccer took on the DePaul Blue Demons this past Saturday. It would be a rough day for the Cats as they would concede 2 goals in the first half and have no answer throughout the match. To make matters worse, several injuries also occurred during the game. Julietta Throne broke her collarbone and Abby Dean tore her ACL. This was also the final competitive match the Cats would play in the team's 4-game spring season.
Northwestern men's soccer headed to Cincinnati, Ohio this past weekend to take on the Xavier Musketeers. The Cats and Musketeers played to a scoreless draw as Xavier hosted its 8th annual Devons game this past Saturday. The event raised over $2,000 for the Down Syndrome Association of Greater Cincinnati. Xavier posted 7 more shots than Northwestern's, and the Musketeers goalkeeper Matthew Rosenberg had only 3 saves in 90 minutes of gameplay. The Cats had 4 more corner kick attempts and total 11 fouls to the Musketeers' 2. This was the last game of the Cats' spring season.
After an up-and-down season for the Wildcats men's tennis team, the team found itself in a win-or-go-home scenario in the opening round of Big Ten play against Purdue this past Saturday. But the Cats would lose a heartbreaker against the Boilermakers 4-3. Purdue won at number 1 and number 2 doubles, but Northwestern would not go down without a fight with a victory at number 3 doubles. But singles play was a different story, with the Cats earning the first 3 points. Chris Efron earned the W at number 3 singles, and Jason Seidman defeated his opponent in straight sets at the number 5 spot. Antonioni Fasano earned the 3rd singles point with a sweep of his own. It would not be enough, as Purdue won at number 4 and number 1 singles. The Cats finished this year's tournament with an even 14-14 record.
Now on to women's tennis. In doubles, the pair of Ria Doshi and Incy Aga won number 3 doubles 6-3, while the pair of Julie Byrne and Hannah Colgan won 6-1. In singles, Clarissa Hand defeated Isabel Bolle 6-2, 6-3 at number 1 singles. In number 2 singles, Julie Byrne blew away Shiori Fukuda 6-4, 6-2. With the win, the Cats collected their 15th of the season, the 20th time the Cats have reached that mark in program history. The Cats advanced to take on the Michigan Wolverines, but saw their Big Ten tournament cut short as the Wolverines held on to win 4-1.
Last weekend, Northwestern's men's golf finished in 13th place at the Big Ten Championship Tournament in Pennsylvania at the Philadelphia Cricket Club. One of the bright spots for the Cats was David Nightfall and his top 15 finish in his first Big Ten championships. The first-year golfer ended the tournament tied for 11th place, shooting 10 over par. Nightfall also shot an even par 70 with 2 birdies on the last day of the competition. Everton Hawkins had the second best score on Northwestern's squad with a 17 over mark. As a team, the Wildcats shot 62 over par on the weekend, but the Illinois Fighting Illini won the tournament with a score of 28 over. Now, Northwestern heads to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to play in the NCAA Regional Championship as the 9 seed in the tournament on May 13th. But in other men's golf news, the league office announced on Tuesday that David Nightfall is your Big Ten Freshman of the Year. The Sweden native also added first-team All-Big Ten selection to his resume, and Nightfall has had one of the most historic campaigns in NU's history, winning back-to-back titles at the Chatham Hills and Grandover Collegiate in October. The first-year golfer has tallied 5 top 15 finishes on the season and achieved the lowest stroke average on the team at 71. Nightfall will look to keep it going in Myrtle Beach, though.
And now coming up after the break, we take a look at the best part of the show, Plays of the Week.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back once again. Evan, you keep complaining about this over break. If you don't think I should be the best player, who is?
Now, Ben, it's not that I don't think you're a good football player. I just think we have so many talented people in this room and in the control room. Now, let me tell you a few of my candidates for the #1 overall seed, all right? My guy, Adam Bronstein. He's quick, he's shifty. If he gets you out in space, he will kill your ankles, and you're on a one-way ticket to the ER. Now, another guy that he has some size to him, Miles Miller. He is a red zone nightmare for defenses because his reach, he'll put you on a poster real quick. And another person that doesn't get enough credit, but she's very accurate, is Emma Steinberg. She throws an absolute dime. She'll hit you in rhythm, and you're just going on for days upon days. And so, Ben, you are good, and you're very talented at being a broadcaster and a football player. I just think we have numerous other options.
I can't lie to you, man. That just hurts. But I'll admit it. It's true. Let's take a look at this week's plays of the week.
Coming in at number 3, David Dunn lays down the perfect bunt, and Sean Gusenberg slides into home as the Cats would beat the Redbirds.
Oh, but at number 2, Selena Lasota. Who else? She's doing what Selena Lasota does with the roll dodge. She is a play of the week waiting to happen.
And at number 1, it's Danielle Williams, delivers and another fantastic performance as she defeats the Spartans single-handedly.
Well, that's all the time we have, but thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Alongside the one and only Ben Boken, I'm Evan Denton. Please be sure to tune in this time next week for a new sports night. For now, have a great night, Evanston.